Hi guys, and welcome back to yet another episode of the Switch Show. I am your host, Melissa Chinoyan, and today we'll be talking about something that it was a journal entry. So I'm going to be reading out my journal entry, but instead of making it as emotionless, as parallel is not the word. Instead of just reading it through, there'll be some context as to why I wrote it down and how it relates to how it has related or how it relates to some seasons of my life. So yeah, having said that, the topic for discussion today is staying consistent without motivation. Now, why that topic? In reality, that the topic sounds very paradoxical. Well, I for one think that I've mastered or I'm mastering the art of paradoxical living, because I've been reading a book, The Paradox of Power. I think I've mentioned it on here before. That book has been really good. It's a view on leadership. This is not a paid ad, so don't think it is. But yeah, it's a lovely book. If you want to check it out, you can get the ebook or purchase it for yourself. The Paradox of Power by Pat Williams. So yeah, so staying consistent without motivation. First of all, what is consistency, if I must ask? So before I answer the question, just take a pause. You can write it down and just ask yourself, what do you view as consistency? What is your perspective? What is your take? What comes to your mind when someone says be consistent, or flow with consistency, or this is a particular consistency? I know the word consistency is used across all forms, so to say. It's used in several aspects of the economy, is used in different careers, and it means different things. So when we talk about consistency as creatives, as what's the word, speakers, writers, creatives, even in the medical sector, all of these things, when we talk about consistency there, we're talking about a measure of efficiency and effectiveness that remains constant over a period of time. It's not how do I put this? It's not faltering all the time, but there is a measure of efficiency and consistency that carries on. Almost like it becomes a fixed value, almost like that. In the culinary industry, when you say something is of a particular consistency, and this most times is referring to like soups and sauces, it has to have this degree of thickness. It has to have this degree of lightness. It could be thick. For example, if you're making a tomato soup doesn't have to be watery. If it's watery, it takes away from the well-known consistency of tomato soups. So it's almost in between thick, and when I say thick, I mean thick. It's almost in between thick and light. So yeah, I don't know what that word is, but yeah, in between thick and light, that is a standard. That is the consistency for a tomato soup. But now we're not talking about soups, obviously. We're talking about how it relates to your life. Even as a culinary expert, there are times where you need to stay consistent when it comes to your recipes, your level of input, your level of output, because food is something that a lot of people eat, is something that we'll probably not do away till the end of time. So yeah, food is something that is here to stay. It has been in existence since before us. So yeah, definitely. So yeah, when we talk about consistency, I've heard a lot of times where people tag consistency with motivation. I've some people have said to me, it's not like it's a popular quote, that in order for you to stay consistent, there needs to be some form of motivation. There needs to be something that pushes you. But the question I ask myself is, when there is nothing to push you, what do you do? Do you just stop? Do you just end your streak of consistency, or do you just end your streak of performance? Now this comes at a time where by the time this episode goes out, this will be the third Thursday. To be the third Thursday in the month of March. Now it's quite insane, so to say, because I took out time over the course of the past 2 years since the podcast started. I wasn't really, what was the consistency? I didn't really think about it. I didn't really think about coming on every Thursday to post new episodes and everything. But 2023, every single Thursday that 2023 has posed, there has been an episode. Getting into the month of March, that has 5 Thursdays. After the first 2 Thursdays, I looked at my calendar and I was like, oh, there are 5 Thursdays in this. I thought it was 4. And it was very overwhelming. I didn't know, I was tired. I was thinking about taking a break, saying something like, I do not have time to record. I've been busy with some schedule or something. Now, of course, something like that will come up, but at that point in time, it would be honest to me. The people that are listening, like you guys, my audience, might not know, but it wouldn't be honest to me. And part of the tenets part of the tenets of consistency is being honest to yourself. And once you're honest to yourself that, I don't think I can do this all the time, but I want to do it. I want to do it. You can push yourself. You can be your own motivation. So when I say staying consistent without motivation, the motivation here I'm talking about is like external motivation, where people have to cajole you, people have to stir you up. So when there is no one to stir you up, when everyone and anyone that you constantly call for help, that you constantly call for some piece of advice, let's say everyone is out and about doing their own stuff and nobody really has that time at that point in time to give you the motivation that you need, what are you going to do? So I'll stop there for a little while and I'll just read the journal entry. So I said, sometimes the mind, the heart, and the soul become super saturated with so much inspiration to speak, write, or do something. That free flow of undiluted, uninterrupted, and sometimes utterly chaotic stream of inspiration can be diffused by some consequential things, usually by a large number of factors or a single thing. The reason I said it's utterly chaotic is because most times we think inspiration, a lot of people think that inspiration comes in a free flowing stream, just one. No, they think inspiration is streamlined. Inspiration is never streamlined, because the moment you're getting an inspiration for one thing, there's an inspiration for another thing lurking in the shadows, and there's an inspiration for at least 10 more things. Now you decide how to streamline the inspiration. You decide how to channel it to its various, mediums. You decide how to work with it. You decide how to make it efficient. So inspiration is never streamlined. It's usually chaotic. It's usually all over the place. So you decide how to streamline your inspiration. Okay. So no matter what a person does, no matter the career or workspace, no individual is 100% motivated round the clock. This is very true. A lot of people would beg to differ. A lot of you And disclaimer, this is not me trying to be your motivational speaker or something. It's more or less sharing something, sharing my journey with you. And I know that at best it relates to a few number of people, probably only just one person. But if you find this as motivation, beautiful. But hey, nobody is motivated 100% of the time. Even the billionaires, even the tycoons, whoever it is that is in the public space, in the public eye, that serves as some form of motivational speaker, they are not motivated 100% of the time. And usually some of them might not want to tell you that. Some of them, it's always easy to sit up high and dish out instructions to people and tell people that, yeah, you got to be motivated and all that other stuff. But it's not always easy to maintain that motivation 100% of the time. That's it. That's just that. This spell of unmotivation is particularly exhausting to creatives. Writing this stuff, that is my journal entry, usually comes naturally, but for some reason, taking time to journal started feeling like an outlandish activity. So, as emotionally overwhelmed as I was writing those things down, writing them offered some therapeutic relief to me, and I can push through the lack of motivation. So in typical motivational speaker fashion, this is where I would draw, my own personal definition of consistency. Consistency is birthed from being willing to continue even after some spell of unmotivated days. Now that in itself is motivation. It is the willingness to want to continue. You know that you don't feel like, but you want to. There's a typical thing where that we quote as Christians. We say the spirit is willing, but the flesh is not. That has a very deep spiritual meaning. But in this context, let me bring it to this place. Inside of you really wants to do it, but probably you're tired, you're feeling groggy or under the weather, nothing seems to be working around you. But like I said in some episodes back, or an episode back, I said, do not focus on what is around you, focus on what is before you. What is it right in front of you? Because what is around you is always overwhelming. It's always overwhelming. But what is before you is what God has set for you. It's your purpose, it's your drive, it's your destiny. That is what it is. And most times the thing about staying consistent without motivation is that when you focus on the things around you, it reduces your attention span. It reduces your ability to articulate thoughts and feelings and emotions more often than not. A lot of people might not want to admit that, yeah, it's true. But once you look at the things around you, you get overwhelmed. And typically, that can reduce your length of days. There is a saying there's a Japanese concept. I once read it somewhere. I've seen it in an article. It's called Ikigai, Ikigai. Now, Ikigai literally translates from the Japanese to English. It literally translates as, or it roughly translates as, the happiness of always being busy. Now, this concept is mostly found in the Okinawan people. The Okinawan people are dubbed as the longest living people on planet Earth, where you might find the youngest age as 90. People are living well into their hundreds. This concept, the Ikigai concept, is something that I would say applies to us. It applies to them. It's more or less like their culture right about now, but something that we can take, because most times we think about whatever we want to do as a huge obstacle. But these Japanese people that have seemingly found the secret to long life, they are always happy. They are happy doing something, anything. Most times when we feel unmotivated, we just relax and be like, they say it's okay to take breaks. Don't get me wrong, it is beautiful to take breaks. But there's something about this concept that strikes me, is that even while taking a break, you could be doing something and be happy about it. The key is to finding happiness in every single thing that you're doing. If it's writing your book, be happy for every single word of inspiration, every single sentence that comes. You can't write a book in one day. Some people might beg to differ, maybe someone has done it before, but I'm telling you this, you can't write a single book in one day. There'll be times where you proofread, you look at it and see that I don't like this chapter doesn't flow well with my narrative, and you tear out the chapter and start again. You might have written every single piece of the book and you come up with a new ending, and you scrap out the ending. This is how it happens. This is what I say, the cycle of life. So you are your own motivation. That's the summary of this. If you don't find a way to motivate yourself, external motivation can only do so much. External motivation can only do so much. So yeah, that's just about that. I hope you have taken a thing or two from this, and I hope you can apply it in some way in your life. So yeah, be sure to follow us here on Spotify. Follow on Instagram at theswitch.show. You can also follow my personal IG at Malise Chinoye. And yeah, I will see you in the next episode. Stay true to yourself. Be the light that the world needs. Remember, walk into that dark room and illuminate it. The world needs you. God bless you.